What's going on, everybody? Frankie here from Mirth Films for another episode of Kinda Live Kinda Livin. We got a real special episode today. Dear friend, incredible musician, Michael Lashomb. Mike, what's up, man?
Not much, dude. I'm just hanging out right now, preparing to hit the road with Annie in the water in about 3 hours. So,
Hell yeah, dude. And you guys are just getting off your first leg of your fall tour, if I'm correct, right?
yes, we just kicked off the first leg of a few different weekends that we're doing, and of the migration tour, which is our fall tour, which is named after our most recent EP that we released about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. So it's been first weekend was awesome. We were on the road with Escaper, based out of Brooklyn, awesome band. Will Hansa and Phil on the keys there, and then they also were joined with Luke and Rory from La Special, backing up the rhythm section, bass and drums. So it was two awesome shows that started off at Funk and Waffles on last Thursday, and then Lark Hall. So it was great. Two ripping shows, good rooms. Couldn't be more pleased.
Absolutely. You were celebrating a birthday, debuting some new songs, and also just it's so cool. Your guys' lineup has evolved over the years, and seeing you guys in your state today, especially at 80K Music Fest, it's just like I don't know, seeing people come out early for your guys' set. It was packed. Like what do you guys feel like you're hitting on well right now? Because I mean, your repertoire of music has really grown since Time to Play, and like what do you feel is like clicking?
What's clicking is I believe that everybody is very focused. And I mean, everyone's hungry, everyone's focused. Everyone in the band has a interest to kind of bring the music a little further each time, each show, each time we get together. We're writing, there's a lot of creative energy going on. So there's a lot of writing happening within the camp of Annie. And I also just think there's a more focus on listening and also communicating, because we do that well off stage, but also I think on stage now and at rehearsals musically, there's just we've just I don't know, it could be maturity, could be the shows, could be putting out multiple albums now as a group. It could be kind of the tenacity that we all have. I don't know. I think it's amalgamation of it all. But what's happening is that we are being creative and we're listening and everyone's delivering in their own individual way and then as a group. So it's a really cool time to be experiencing this all as myself, and then seeing the fans come out, seeing people excited about it. It's been great. It's definitely a different energy. Before I think we had our close friends and supporters, and now just like you were saying, there's people that are coming out of the woodwork. They're listening to our music, so there is a growth that's happening, and all of that combined is just I think it creates a whole nother effect. We have more fans giving us feedback and listening to our music, and they're more involved too. So the whole thing, it just seems more evolved and involved, and there's just excitement about it, and people it makes people happy, and that's the most important thing.
Hell yeah, man. And even like yourself, I always respected you as an incredible guitar player. But I see you taking more chances on stage. You're maybe playing different scales. Like what are you doing outside of the stage? Like are you just exploring new waters, listening to new things? Is it more theory? Because like damn man, like I was blown the hell away at 80K. Not to bring it back to September, but like really just like you knew when to step back, you knew when to be in people's faces, in a good way, and I don't know, it just sounded super tight, like the way you were playing.
Thank you. I've been spending. I think there's different things with that, and I appreciate that. Because yes, I have been working on different. I mean, theory is one of the things where, um, and I'll be very honest. I think with Brad and I, when we first started, we were going into it for so long. it was so focused on writing and open chord kind of exploration and seeing what sounded right or what a song, maybe what could sounded good with the song. And you kind of get pigeonholed sometimes in yourself as just try. We would write new stuff and we were always exploring that. But having different bandmates come in, having Chris and Matt and Josh come in, having a lot of background in theory and application, music, in training and things like that. So it forced me to also listen more to what they were doing, and then also say like I just realized what I was doing before was a little bit more of a like not I don't want to say like single dimensional kind of way of doing it, but you kind of have tunnel vision on to like accomplish a song. And but yeah, also I was reaching out and I was having getting lessons, but also just exploring new scales, exploring new parts of theory. We started learning more technical songs, working with different chord progressions and things like that. So yeah, I think my style person, then also on top of, the theory and trying to explore musically and listening to new types of music, but also listening intently. There's listening to music and then there's actually listening to what those tones are, what those modes are, and then studying, different modes. I mean, that's I think fundamentals, mixing fundamentals and creativity is something that really helped kind of bring the my playing a little bit further, but also was the technical instrumentation and so I invested in a lot of different new pieces of equipment, recording equipment, on stage stuff that I've been trying out, multiple guitars, trying to see what felt right, and then the most recent guitar. The interesting thing is at 80K Fest, I was using my original hollow body that I had retired like 5 years ago, and I had a guitar student revamp it with my guitar tech and bring it back to me. And so I was playing on that. That felt comfortable. And I just got this new Stratocaster that I think as funny as it is like there's all these fancy, nice guitars, but I just focused on what felt right for me. And so blending, what felt comfortable and then, focusing on my skills and practicing and learning new things. It's just multiple things that kind of brought me to a new kind of stratosphere of playing guitar, a new dimension or new place, if you will. So I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah, man. And side question here. You're the only guy I know who can hike mountains with Converse Chucks. What was that like? Did your feet hurt after? Or was it seems like a super punk thing to do.
Yeah. I honestly, I have hiked in sandals. I've hiked in slippers. I've hiked barefoot. I think with me is when I'm touring and traveling, or if I have any in between time. Luckily, where around where I live and also where the band rehearses is the Adirondack Mountains. So if I have that gap time where I'm on the road, it's just whenever I feel an impulse to hike, I do, and whatever my footwear might be, it dictates how I go up the mountain. Am I a little bit more conscientious or slower? Or do I kind of run it up? Hiking with Chucks, though, I do not recommend. There was one time I was in Jackson Hole and I was on Snow King Mountain there, Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and it was in May and there was ice underneath and it didn't have like treading and I just like bam. So I just had Chucks that day. I was driving to meet up somewhere. I had to go record, and I had some time to kill in the morning. And I opened up my truck, and I was like, "Well, I got some Chucks. I'm gonna wear some Converse hiking." So, yeah,
Nice.
that's my decision making process in a nutshell.
I love it. Now seeds are plants. You water them too, but seeds also grow roots. And roots. Tell me a little bit about what you got going on. This new project uh, at your home. Because I would love for everybody to find out. Because I know the band's been supporting what you're doing.
Yeah, thanks, man. So when I'm not on the road, I actually live here on Old Saratoga Mercantile Farm, which is in Schuylerville, New York. So we grow green. So when I'm actually not on the road and I have some time, if I'm not sleeping, I actually will get out there and I work on the farm as well. So Tim and Christina are the owners here. They're good friends of mine, and and so we've been working a lot to not only do greens on the farm. We do dirt. It's a dirt farm, so we have mixed greens. We have all sorts of vegetables that we grow here, and assortments of greens. But we also this is the first year that we are actually doing our own cannabis growth. So we're going to be actually harvesting in just a couple days here on the farm, and it's called Roots. So that's the name of our cannabis company and our dispensary that's here on the property at Old Saratoga Mercantile. And um, it's going to be one of the first kind of like farm to dispensary dispensaries of its kind in the state of New York, actually. So we harvest, and the store is open now. We have plenty of product right now, but we're going to be having our own product that not only, did I kind of help to grow it, but this is a huge project that Tim, our farmer, has been, heading. And then also, he had gotten sick during the process and was down for the count for actually a month or so. And just the community has come out of the woodwork to help with the growth and everything. It's really an inspiring story in its of itself. And so we're really excited to harvest. And I'll be I'll be on the road, I'll be repping the roots and stuff, but we'll be selling our own homegrown cannabis that not only myself, but the farm and the community has helped grow here on the property at Old Saratoga Mercantile. So come over to Old Saratoga Mercantile. We got an organic food store also that's here on the property that has amazing local meat and food and crafts. And then we also, right built onto that, is the dispensary that we have of cannabis. And we're very intentional with it. And we're very, very proud and very happy to see what we've been able to accomplish. So,
That's incredible, man. I always like hearing just people in the music community doing other things separate from music. I feel like that stuff like that, like just kind of pours back into the creativity or just kind of, wipes the slate because, when you're in it all the time, it's, even for video for me, it's like if I lose myself in it, then it's like, what is my new creative juices that I want to pour back into my favorite craft? With that being said, you mentioned roots, hiking. For you, like how important is that? Like taking that time away from the guitar and experiencing life.
oh yeah, that's a loaded question in a great way. I appreciate you asking. That's a balance that has been very important to me. I mean, that pretty much saved my life, really, is understanding what balance is. Balance for me is a very particularly interesting concept. But as I've matured and grown with music, you start to realize how imperative it is that you are conscientious of what are you doing. The balance is that kind of it's that yin and yang thing. It's like you can't go all full throttle. And with Brad and myself, when we first started, I mean, we've been doing this now for about 18 years, touring heavily for about, 14, 15 years, consistently all year round. And with this grounding and also this space that I live now, I was moving all over and trying new things and then constantly on the road. You're in other people's energies, you're in different people's spaces, you're kind of your eyes are open, you're in receiving mode. And there's this back end, which is being back home or just rooting yourself, grounding yourself, which is the thing to recalibrate. Sometimes I'll get off the road and sometimes I'll sleep for a day or two just because there's so much going on, there's so many people, and just finding that ability to have like a moment to like find sense of stillness is not only I think important in music, but I just feel in the collective and everyone overall, we're so bombarded with information it's such stimulants in this upper part of our whole body. We have a whole body. That's why I like to hike, because I've got feet, I've got toes, I've got arms, I've got legs, I've got a midsection, I've got a core. But it seems like in everything that we're kind, your phone is absorbing just our cognitive energy, our receptions from our what we see and what we hear and what our cognition is bringing in, and that's such a limited amount of what we're actually doing. So, and it's being bombarded with also energy and information and content that's trying to grab your attention to distract you really, and I'm not trying to be like anything other than just very, conscientious of what we're living, but yeah, that's why you got to take a break from that too. It's like either work or like, what we're being bombarded with, what there is going on externally. You really have to find that sense of still, and that's what's important for me, at least myself, is finding whatever that sense of stillness is. I meditate every morning when I wake up, and that keeps me really sane in this world, in my work and environment. So yeah, I learning balance and grounding has been my own journey, which everybody has their own journey with that and how they relate to that and their relationship with being centered and grounded and finding and cultivating peace within themselves. Everybody has that own journey. For me personally, it it really helped save my life. I was so intensely driven and just caught up in everything that I was unhealthy and I was not only physically, but like mentally and emotionally. I don't think I was where I wanted to be really truly available for people. So learning those habits has also made me it plays into my relationships with people. Like, how can I show up better for people now? It's how I've learned to kind of cultivate a sense of grounding and stillness within myself. So I know that was a long answer, but that was a wonderful question. So I felt compelled.
Yeah, man, no, it's that's the truth for sure. I've definitely experienced times in my life where I'm like, my busy point is 80K Music Fest to Wild in the Trees because I have like four music festivals in between then, and I'm on it on the weekend, spending during the weeks editing, then jumping right into another music festival, then the other thing. And it's like there's always going to be that other thing, but it's like it's up to you to kind of like step back and just be like, whoa, okay. Yeah, I'm losing it. Or I got to rebalance myself. But um, bringing it back to today, you guys have a Halloween show, Annie and the Water Duo, playing with Googlitus at Putnam Place. Uh, I just saw that the show got added to the calendar. How excited are you? I mean, you guys are masterminds as a duo with your looping capabilities, and I know you guys were doing that for a while. And correct me if I'm wrong, that's how Annie and the Waters kind of started, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thanks, man. We're super excited for the 31st of October, Halloween, that is. So, yeah, we're super excited. And we're excited to link up with Gubblitas, which is Mahali and Gub from Twiddle and also Mahali Band. So we're really excited about that. And we're excited that it was something. It's funny because a lot of also the family, the Twiddle fan that we're friends with, and then other people, and then also people in the band. We've kind of always talked about how interesting and cool that would be, but there's never been a show that really lined up with that. And then Jarrett Hearthstone Productions, he had come to me and he was like, "Hey, what do you think of the Annie and the Water duo for Gubblitas?" And it was just like, yeah, that we've been wanting to do this for years, So it's gonna be a really special show. We're all really excited about it. And it's also good to link up with Mahali and Gub. Just thinking about busy bands, those are all very busy people. So whenever we're able to be in the same space, it's nice. As for, Brad and I, the Annie and the Water duo, the acoustic duo, yeah, that we started like that. Brad and I threw our stuff in a red Dodge Caravan and just ran, or like a Ram, and we just hit the road we've been doing it since, but we always wanted to build the band bigger, but for a number of years it was Brad and I looping, like kind of think of like Zach Deputy, but having like another guitarist to join him. A lot of it was driven loops, beatboxing, and we made our own thing happen, which was unique. But as time went on, we were able to get Josh West in the band, Chris Davis in 2018, Matt in 2018 later, and then Josh coming back to the band just about 3 years ago. We'd always been building to where we're at now as a band with our full group. We've always wanted to be an eclectic and kind of progressive and interesting Americana singer-songwriter band as well. But so the duo in the past few years has been kind of like taking the back seat. as even though it's the original Catalyst, there's something special about it. And so Brad and I have been kind of more conscientious in doing some shows just to keep that, because it's you want to keep that flavor going creatively too. And but we don't focus on it. It's just happenstantial. And we've been the few shows we play a year. There's just something unique about it and really special about it. So seeing how like bringing that together to be on a circuit stage, that is something that we've talked about as well, because like say if it's a smaller band, the footprint that opening or that band's want is smaller, the duo works well. We just opened for Crooked Coast, great band, national touring band. We just opened for them on a larger stage, and then now we're doing this with Gabalitas, and it's cool. It's cool to see how that's growing, or that there's an interest there now. The full band of Annie in the Water is obviously fantastic, and now to see the duo kind of having some different opportunities coming to just grow the entirety of what Annie in the Water is, and our family and our band and our group is it's been great. And I'm interested to see how people receive it at Putnam, on a big stage, because usually the duo, Brad and I just set up at, some cool restaurants that we like playing at. And we set up our own PA, and it's just a vibe during the day. But we can turn it into a rock show. But it's got a real interesting throttle body on it. So
100%, man. And just yeah, I mean, playing with those guys and Googlitas, Twiddle, obviously it's common knowledge how much of an impact they've made in northeastern area of the United States with their music and beyond. Is there like for you like what does the band mean to you? Like, is there some favorite songs that hit home to you? I know you guys have played a couple Twiddle songs on stage before. Like, so like for them, like what are those guys to you? Mahali Gub, you know?
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. So back in 2000, I mean, it was a huge part of also, I think, what put Annie in the Water on the map. I mean, there's so many things I could really say about, the Twiddle and Mahali and Gub as not only bandmate associates, but friends, like genuinely good friends. We relate to each other well. Gub has a background in athletics, and as well as Mahali. Mahali was a lacrosse player. Brad and I met through playing Division One lacrosse during our fall ball sessions, when we weren't having to play during the spring. And then, Gub was a football player and accomplished and focused on music. So there's that relatability. There's the Vermont connection that we both, love and have our networks there. And the friendships that I think what was really also the community and the friendships built, I think there's a natural organic sense of community within that team. And I think we share that as well, Annie in the Water, because we come from, the North Country, where even though it's different places that they kind of cultivated in Vermont, their hype and their kind of growth, we had a similar thing, just in a different kind of part of the country. And it just made sense. I think, the snowboard community as well, they're the part of their relatability with Burton and the Friendly Gathering. Myself, I've been a snowboarder, average snowboarder for, about 25 years now. And I think that was also something that made sense too, is just like when you look at all the elements, and then also on top of that, the Gubalitas and then the Annie in the Water duo are so like, there's so many similar things there too, like the vibe and how it's a looping, jammy show, and the cover choices that they have, the cover choices we have, are so similar. And but back when we first started, Brad and I, the duo, we went to see him, and they just slowly but surely embraced us. And there's, I think, Live from Nectar's, specifically that album, was a huge catalyst for me to see what was possible with the jam band scene. I thought and we were there for the release of it, Brad and I, and met the guys, and there's just such a palpable energy with it. That was really a launching off point for Twiddle. And when you kind of see and get related with them, and then you see what their launch pad is, and it's incredible. And then also seeing the evolution, Annie in the Water's changed different band members, and obviously, Twiddle has gone through evolutions themselves, but to see their sense of conviction to keep on going. For Mahali to be able to take his songwriting, keep going, for Gub to be able to come in and bring his uniqueness, and he's writing more, and he's working with Night Zero now with the Rob Campo group and Adrian, and it's inspiring because these are friends and people that didn't quit on, like, they music is so in not only their blood but also their profession, and we share that as well, Brad and I, and to see that growth of what they're doing, it's just something that you can only help but be so, like, proud of, but also um we've gotten to a point now where we're associates, and it's interesting to see how we're going to share the stage in the future, and how we're all going to share musically in the future. So there's the starting point, and they really kind of brought us underneath their wing. We that there's there I couldn't talk more graciously about Mahali and Gub, and Ryan as well, and Brooke, and also, and Adrian coming in on drums. Like, each one of them we have our own unique relationship with, as well as the management and everything too. So we love those guys. Fucking A, I love those guys.
Awesome, man. Yeah, no, for sure. And you know, I don't know, for me personally, that was like outside of seeing Fish and whatever Dead derivative at the time, that was what kind of got me into seeing more smaller regional acts. And I don't think I would have like found that if I didn't listen to Twiddle. And which, got me to get to know you, like it all stems, it all roots if we're bringing it back. You mentioned snowboarding. Let's keep it fun here. So you've been snowboarding your whole life. You're avid snowboarder. You got two right behind you. Um,
Oh yeah.
when
Yeah.
that first snowfall comes and that snow is being made on a mountain, what would you consider your home mountain?
Well, I think there's like multiple home mountains I have, but I for the the terrain, the technicality, just the environment, and the community and how it's embraced me. I mean, Whiteface is like, it's an incredible mountain. It's a steep mountain, and I like to ride steep and deep and aggressive. I don't do as much like park stuff anymore, just because my wrist. It's I so I'm just very conscientious, and snowboarding is a very spiritual thing for me. It's just something that can really turn the brain off and have my whole body just like ingrained in the minute moment. But that being said, I think there's other mountains that I find that are, like, I would say that's my home mountain, but if we were to consider close seconds there and other ones, I grew up learning on Dry Hill in Watertown, New York. That I always have a love for that place, and that got me to like understand what it was like to be on a lift, and like go up a lift and then go down in a steeper pitch than just golf courses and little places that I would build little ramps on. So shout out to Dry Hill in Watertown, New York. Love those people. And then also like Killington. I love Killington. Killington's a huge community that has been really supportive and important to us. We played at the Pickle Barrel. That's where a lot of the start of our relationship with Twiddle actually came from, the community of Killington. Our relationship with Dark Side Snowboards in Vermont and Killington. Love those guys. Best snowboard shop out there. Honestly, go check out Dark Side Snowboards. They're awesome people. Shout out to Bill, love you, Billy, and Tucker. But also ones that are under the radar. I mean, like Macaulay Mountain in Old Forge. I couldn't speak highly enough about that. Really aggro kind of terrain. You can get everything that you want out of that. Really underrated. I highly recommend more people check out Macaulay Mountain as well. Um, and yeah, I'd have to give my love to those right now. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like Breckenridge out in Colorado is dope as hell. I really loved out there. Obviously, King Mountain and Jackson Hole. Those I built a we go out there more because I work for a corporate team building company as well. So that when I'm out there, King Mountain actually is my little home mountain, but Jackson Hole is also a dope resort too. So I mean, I could talk about this shit all day.
Love it.
You've hit a question that, like, I mean, God, I'd stay on this fucking soapbox forever and talk about that shit.
Hell yeah, man. We got just a couple minutes left in this free Zoom meeting
Yeah.
here. Two questions. First is, what is one thing that people do not know about you that you want to put out into the world?
Mm, I think I think what they don't know, I think well, I do perform on a stage and I'm a very public person. I think also um my own personal life I think is I think I'm very different in my own personal life and as everybody is, you know. Um and yeah, I actually am a much more mellow person off stage than I am on stage. I think people think I used to party my ass off. Don't get me wrong. But that's that type of personality is thus dwindling. So I think I'm actually much more like calm off the stage. You know what I mean? I think I just say that because that's just helpful for myself.
No, it's great, dude. And
Yeah.
then lastly, just what do you want to plug? What do you want to put out into the world? Any stuff, Michael Lashomb stuff, Root stuff. What can people look forward to coming from your camp?
Well, we have I would just say check out the migration tour. The start of it has been fantastic. Annie in the Water migration tour we're on right now this fall has been fantastic. We're playing at a great level. We're really excited about it. And then we also are going to be going back in the studio in December. So that should be interesting as well. So that's exciting. And yeah, I think I don't know. It's just things are good. I just hope everyone is finding their own excitement and doing whatever they need to do to excite themselves. And we hope that they can come out to shows with us because I think bringing that energy into the shows and coming and collecting. Actually, biggest thing I want to say is we thrive off of everyone connecting at our shows, and collective connection is so important right now. And we've been seeing that happening. And I just invite you to come to shows because it's a non-judgmental arena. It's very much about coming together and relating to each other and being connected to each other. And that for me is probably the most important thing right now. Just remembering what it is to connect as a human and not worry about all the other shit that we're bombarded with. So come out to shows, have a great time. We'll play our asses off, at least to our best ability, and it'll be a great time.
Hell yeah, man. Well, Mike, thank you for joining me on this fine morning. Yeah, just stay up to date with everything Any in the Water is doing. Follow them on socials, listen to their music because they'll keep you dancing the night away for sure. So, um, thank you, man.
Thank you, Frank. Yeah, I really appreciate everything you do, not only for music, but the Capital Region too. You're a great cookie, man.